Welcome back to Made Wonderfully
podcast. This is officially our last episode of the season, so you can definitely catch us in season 2.
Of course.
But this is season 1.
How do you
my
feel,
God. How do you feel?
I feel refreshed.
You do?
I do.
That's good. I'm glad that you do.
Yeah.
Yes. Filming this season, how do you feel?
I feel more relaxed and more confident to talk about the things that I felt like I wouldn't even talk about out loud, because I don't even do this for real on my own channel. So it's like opening up with you and with them, I feel more refreshed, more confident. I feel like I can walk my true self. Yeah, it feels refreshing. How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel open. I'm one that's kind of more to myself, more reserved. But I also feel like I have a lot of different life experiences that I'm open and willing to share if it is to help someone grow.
Of course.
So I'm more like I'm more open when it comes to like helping somebody grow, or not to make the same lessons or choices that I made, because I would want somebody to be in a better predicament with some of the things that I've done. Again, I have crash out stories, and I wouldn't want
Here we go.
I'm sorry, I just wouldn't want anybody to go through that, because when I think about people, I think about like my babies. I don't have kids yet, but one day I will, and I want them to just be better than what I was. I want to pass the torch down and just give them something to do better based on it. So it's like my mom passed the torch to me. She gave me her lessons, and I didn't make some of those same choices. And then with the choices I did make, I want to now pass that to my kids and tell them everything. Now my kids is going to get the actual unfiltered stories. They're going to get the raw stories. They're going to get all of the stories, because I actually do want them to make better choices. And I'm not ashamed of like my past or like the eras of my way. I would say I definitely didn't go too far. Like, that's the thing, is like I never made decisions, thank God, that didn't cost me my life or anything like that. Like, I didn't go too far, but that's only because of the grace of God. I would have to give him all the credit for that. But yeah, that's like something I really want to do, even with you guys, is like give y'all something to like know, one, you're not alone, two, you're not crazy for feeling the way you feel or for going through the things you're going through. We've probably been in similar situations, and then you can grow from it, you can evolve from it. You don't have to let your past dictate your future or where you want to go. So don't let trauma keep you down. Again, I think I said it in like episode 4 or something, that like sometimes the devil, he try to uses your trauma, but God can turn that trauma into a testimony. And I'm a firm believer in that during these times that you may be going through something, honey, this test is part of the word testimony, and you will make it through. You are an overcomer. You are more than a conqueror. You hear me?
You wouldn't go through anything you couldn't handle.
Exactly.
You're not going to stay in it. You're going to go right through it, and you're going to learn from it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this video is mostly about reflections. We just want to reflect on how we grew throughout this season. So what was one takeaway for you that you learned from filming Made Wonderfully?
That we're made wonderfully. No. But other than that, other than confidence and speaking up for yourself, I did learn a lot about boundaries, and I've learned to basically show up more for myself. And again, like we spoke into the last episode, not to settle. I've also learned to open up. It is a testimony. Other people need to hear your story, and it's okay. And I think that's pretty much it. It's pretty much it. That's what I've learned. What would I tell my 5-year-old self?
Yes.
I would tell my 5-year-old self that I'm very proud of you. I know you've probably dreamed of being so many things, but the simple fact that you continue to work on your goals, no matter what it was, I'm proud of you. Continue to be creative, continue to love yourself, and to continue pushing and to dream big. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, for me, what I learned during this podcast is to, one, be open and present,
Mm-hmm.
to be confident,
Mm-hmm.
and to just speak freely
Mm.
without being afraid of how I'm going to be viewed. Which is why I'm being like very blunt. And in the last episode, I did talk about like areas where I went wrong in my relationships. So just being open and honest and not being afraid to put myself out there and not be afraid of who I was and accept that that's where I was at that point and I have grown and I'm not the same person.
Mm-hmm.
But to still like accept like that was me, and even in my wrong, that version of me still deserves me to love on them.
Yeah.
You know? So it's for me to not bash that version of me or to feel down about that version of me or to put myself down for making certain choices that I made.
Mm-hmm.
For me, what I would tell my younger self, my 5-year-old self,
Mm-hmm.
it gets better.
Mm.
It gets better.
It gets better.
It gets better. It's gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're more than your given circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
You are enough. You are enough.
You are enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. You are enough. You are.
Yeah. That's really what I would tell her. And I'll give her a hug.
Yeah.
And let her know. To my future kids,
Mm-hmm.
I hope YouTube still exists so you can see this stuff. Like I pray to
It
God.
will be.
I pray to God because
It
I
will
want my
be.
kids to look back and be like, "That's my mommy." Woo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To my future kids, I love you. Because I'm your mom. Of course I love you. But what I would teach my future kids is to build a sense of self-worth. Build that first before you go out into the world trying to find it in someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Your self-worth cannot be found in someone else.
Mm.
It can only be found in you. So that's the one thing I would want to teach my kids. And boundaries. A lack of boundary is a lack of self-love. It is. And that's something that was very hard for me to grow into and learn. Because for me, I thought if I keep showing up and I keep pouring love into certain people, that eventually they will show up and pour that type of love into me. But it doesn't necessarily work out that way. So you have to pour into you and flourish into you and grow within your own self and set up those boundaries. And just because you have boundaries doesn't mean that you don't love people or things like that. Because sometimes I would feel like, well, shouldn't love have no boundaries? Shouldn't people just be able to just show up and be them? And it's like, in theory, yes, people can show up and be them. However, if it's causing you harm, you can kindly just decline and say, hey, I wish to not continue this relationship because it's going to hurt me.
Boundaries are there in place to keep you safe.
To keep you safe.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
What I will tell my daughter, and I guess just in case my future children, because I don't want to block my blessings, is of course I love you and that I'm here for you. I'm always going to be here for you. I'm your mom. I am your support system. Don't ever be afraid to talk to me about anything. I always tell Zen, it's God first and put yourself first, like, and boundaries as well. It keeps you safe. Know yourself. Continue to focus on yourself and your goals. Don't push it and put it in the back burner for anybody. Go after what you want to go after because you only get one life. So do it for you. Don't do it for anybody else. Do the things that you want to do for you. Don't try to change yourself for anyone. Be true to yourself. Be true to you. And always try to do everything with love and a good heart. That's what I would always tell Zen and tell my future children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that last thing.
Yeah.
Because kindness is important. Be kind. There's so much things going on in the world, and I feel like kindness and empathy is lacking.
It
Be
is.
kind. Be kind. Right now I am reading through the book of Luke.
Yeah.
Jesus is a kind man. I know I said man like twice.
With patience.
But yes, like so kind and so loving.
Yeah.
And today when I was reading about forgiveness, because he was speaking about forgiveness in this chapter, and he was saying pretty much if someone harms you, rebuke them, but if they come to you asking for forgiveness, forgive them. Even if they sin against you 7 times, forgive them 7 times. So forgiveness is important too. I would say, for me, forgiveness in general can be like one of like the hardest things for me to do with myself. I'm really hard on myself at times.
Yeah.
So even forgiveness with myself can be hard, but also forgiveness of other people. Like sometimes it takes me a while, which is why I said like sitting here today, like yeah, like all my exes, I forgive them but love in my heart for them today. But 3 years ago,
girl,
child, that's a different story.
Because if you hold the grudge, you're not going to be able to learn from your mistakes and just grow as a person.
Yes.
You'll stay stagnant in those emotions. You don't want that.
Exactly. So, I want to learn to forgive faster. You know, not saying it took me 3 years. It didn't take me 3 years to forgive, but like, I feel like I'm not hurt anymore. So like, I would say last year was, well, technically, y'all watching it is 2025, so not last year, 2024, but 2023. I would say that year. No, 2022. I feel like 2022 was really where I started to like actively start to forgive my last ex. By 2023, I was pretty much in a good place with it. Hurt about like certain small parts that I still needed to like heal from, but for the most part, it's like I'm not even
hurt. Like you could talk about it and not be.
Yeah, like I'm not upset. Like there was still certain things that hurt in 2023, but not honestly about him or anything like that. It was more about me and where I was at that point in my life, and just feeling like I should be further. So it was just like I was looking at just knowing where he was in life, and then looking back at myself and think, oh my God, I should be further. So it was just like one of those things.
The comparison is a thief of joy.
Yes. And then, but 2024, baby, like completely,
thriving,
like
flourishing,
completely over it, completely like healed from it. Like he's completely forgiven. Like there's
Summer Walker right now. You over it?
Yes, like just love in my heart towards him, and just know like that's also like part of his journey. That's where he was in that moment.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where he needed to be in that moment to like grow and learn. And I just pray to God that right now in 2024, and God's willing in 2025, when you all are watching this, that he's in an even better place. You know, that he's grown and he's healed and he's worked on those things in life.
You as well.
Yeah, because like I know I worked on those things. I know I'm in a better place, and I will only wish that for other people. So like, yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
you have to. When you pray for yourself, pray for those others. Pray for their guidance and just give the love and the distance from afar.
Yeah, but definitely working on forgiving quicker. And it's not that it's a competition or anything like that, but it's just like I do want to forgive, like get there faster. Like I don't want it to be like something that is like I'm holding on to.
And forgive for you too.
Yeah, for so long. So it's just like I want to be able to be like, okay, the situation happened. I'm processing it. This is how I'm feeling in this moment. And then like I want to get to a point where it's like someone can hurt me, and within that same year they're forgiven. I don't want it to be like a year later they're forgiven. Because it takes me a while, and the reason it takes me a while is because when I pour so much love into a person, and to see them hurt me or betray me, it hurts so much, because it's like,
and it brings back up more memories. And
yeah, and it's that like I never did this to you, and I would never do this to you,
Lack
and I
of
would
respect.
never even think you would do this to me. Like, and that's the part that hurt, because it's like I let my guard down, and I didn't even think you would do that to me, and you did.
I was loyal, honey.
And that hurts. And then that's where it's just like, that part is like, that's hard for me to let go of. It's like, I loved you so much,
and you still
how could you
did
do
it.
this to
I
me?
gave you another chance to show you love,
And how
you
could
still
you
do it again.
It's like, how could you?
Yeah.
So for me, like, that's why forgiveness takes so long. When there's people I have no connections to and they do something that like irks me or bothers me, honestly, by the next day I forget.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh yeah, I totally forgot you did that. Because it's like we don't have like an actual connection, but it's like people that I actually have built relationships with, whether that's friendship, platonically, or romantic relationships. If I poured into you,
you expect that back, but if you don't get it, it is what it is.
Yeah. It's mainly like the betrayal part that be hurting. Because it's just like, I can deal with growing apart, but betrayal?
It's hard.
Lying?
It's hard.
Crazy work. So, but like, I just want to learn to like be able to forgive and be able to like still love while forgiving.
Oh, that's hard too.
Because sometimes that is hard, but honestly, getting closer to God, reading my Bible is helping me really do that, because I'm seeing the example right before me. I'm seeing Jesus and how he walked and how he moved. He had people that, in the end, was the people that persecuted him, that killed him. And his death was not an easy death. His death was a painful death, you know. And he still did it out of love. He died on that cross out of love for humanity. And if he can give his life for people that hate him, for people that lied on him, for people that betrayed him. His own homie betrayed him, man, for some silver and gold.
Girl.
Like, he was supposed to be his boy.
He needed the bag. That's it.
He betrayed him for some silver and some gold. Like, do you know you best friends with Jesus? Jesus could make silver and gold.
Because I don't even think he believed in his own friend. He like, I need the bag. That's wrong.
But do you know, like, if Jesus can cure people, Jesus could have helped. He turned the bread and fed thousands of people. And you don't think he's gonna like make sure you financially secure and you don't go hungry and stuff?
He thought the grass was greener on that side.
Why would you need these silvers and gold? But that just shows me that, like, yo, if Jesus can still have love,
you can do it too. You can do it too. Yeah,
I can do it.
Yeah, because I've been through some things, and I tell my mom, like, I'm helping her learn what I'm learning, because, you know, we in two different generations. They cope different than how we cope now. We have more resources than how they do. So there's so many things that she's like, I don't want to talk to people now. And I'm like, you know what? Do it with love, and don't do it just for them, for their satisfaction. Do it for yourself, because I'm telling you right now, you're gonna grow from it, and you're not gonna be in that place of hurt anymore. When you continue to hold those grudges and no hurt, you stay hurt. You don't heal. You can't. I think there was like a saying, like, you don't heal in an environment that you was hurt from. So really try to embrace the fact that I'm hurt. This is where it's happened. This is how it happened. Now remove yourself from that. Be a flower. Repot yourself. And grow. Water yourself with more intentions, more love, more prayer, more light, and forgiveness. And that's how you'll move on.
Amen.
So forgive, but don't forget. Use your discernment and use that.
Yes. And I think PD, my pastor PD, shout out to Change Church, there was definitely a sermon he did on that too, about like forgiving and loving people. But he said, like, you can love people, you can forgive them, but you can love them from over there.
Yeah, from far.
Like, you can love them from over there. And that is very much so true. So yeah, I'm just learning to like forgive and move with love, even when someone's hurt me, to still like show up like how Christ showed up. And in those moments, sometimes, I'm not going to lie, sometimes it's hard, because it's like you're fighting against your flesh.
Of course.
Your flesh wants to be like, you know what, but they did this to me, so I'm standing my ground. And I'm
being
going to show
petty
them.
doesn't help, I'm telling
and it's
you.
like, no, that's not how Jesus moved. That's not how he moved at all. So I'm just trying to learn to model my life after Jesus. Sometimes I fall short, I do, but that's when God, like, really, he comes down and he, Leah, you know that wasn't right? You know you gotta correct that, right? I'll be like, yeah, God, no.
Seeking revenge does not help, because it's only gonna burn your tail. Honestly,
you got it, God. I'm gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
And again, that's what I pray for. Like, every day, I pray for discernment. I to be able to discern things. I pray for wisdom to know what to do, what the discernment I'm getting, and then I pray for obedience to follow through to what God is telling me to do. And it really, really does help, because it's one thing to discern something. You could discern it. Like I said, I had good discernment. Like, I felt the things, but then I would just go off.
Repeat it.
I would just go off and crash out because I had no wisdom. I didn't develop good wisdom. Like, yeah, the things you're saying may be right, but the way you're handling it is not wise. It's not a wise move. It's not a good move. So I had to learn wisdom. And then once I gained that sense of wisdom, I had to learn to let go of my flesh and be obedient and surrender my flesh to God. And be like, you know what? I want to hold down and I want to be right. I want to be right. But it's like, you gotta let the flesh die, and you gotta be obedient and surrender, right, and just do the right thing. Even do the right thing, even if it pains you while doing it. Because sometimes, it pains me while doing it. I be like, they trying to talk down to me. They trying to play me. They trying to. But I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm gonna turn this cheek. I'm gonna turn the other cheek.
You gotta remind yourself who you are. Remain in character. Remain in character. Don't let them take you out of your character, girl. You're doing it. You're doing a good job.
Yes, but understand, sometimes I do fall short.
We're not perfect.
And I have to pray. And I have to ask God for forgiveness. Because God knows there have been some days.
Child, we want to turn it.
And I fell short. And I had to, and it felt bad after, because it's like, ooh. It's that feeling. You know that feeling when you grow? Because it's like, it's certain things you were able to do before and you didn't feel like bad after.
Yeah.
But now that I'm growing and I know better.
You feel bad about it.
Yeah, when I do certain things that isn't right, I be like, ooh.
But at least you're catching it. And it's not like your old self and repeating it. So that's good.
Yeah, and making better decisions. So yeah, these are my reflections.
When I thought I said that I can say what she was, but she got one.
These are my reflections.
Man, I'm rolling, I don't know what to do.
Hey.
Guess I gotta keep up.
My reflections. Hey, I'm glad that y'all enjoyed the season 1, 2 made wonderfully. Hey, we did it. Hey, thank you for tuning in. You the real MVP. So come on. Let's show up and grow. I said, come on. Let's show up and grow. I said, come on. Let's grow up and wait.
Let's grow.
I mixed up the lyrics. But y'all know what it is. Show up and grow. Hey.
No, now we're going to look back at this one day and see we've even grown even more. And that's going to be even better. Like, and it's not going to be like a silent look. Now you really have that that documented.
It's documented.
I love it.
I can't wait. I can't wait till, like, one day I'm sitting in my house and I'm like 50 years old or something, and then I'm inviting Kennia over, and then I was like, you want to tune into our podcast? Well, we're not gonna be we're gonna be young 50-year-olds. Let me fix my posture. We're gonna be like, hey girl, you want to come over and watch some Made Wonderfully?
Of course,
let's go.
Come on.
I got the charcuterie blood. I have the caviar.
The girls are chatting.
Oh wait, I don't know if you can even eat caviar because of your allergy.
Maybe. I'll look it up. I think we can. I think I can.
You can eat caviar?
I think so.
You think?
I think so.
You can eat caviar? We're going to have some samosas for you, baby girl. We're going to keep you safe. I'm going to have some samosas on a charcuterie board with some berry pizza. Okay.
I'll take it.
Okay.
But, no, I love this.
Me
This
too.
was amazing. I can't wait to do it again.
Yes, I can't wait for season 2.
Yes.
So let us know what you want to see more of. We are going to read through those comments, and we are going to do our best to make sure we produce that for season 2.
Yes. Make sure to also give us some suggestions on what you also are open to talk about, and we'll go from there too.
as well. Yep, and make sure you follow us on Instagram. We will link our Instagram in the description box below. Yeah, any last comments for the people?
I love you.
We love you.
We did it, Joe.
We did it. Thank you so much for tuning into season 1 of Made Wonderfully. We will see you in season 2. And that's a cut.
We did it.
We did it.